In this series, you'll see fierce battles of demons that can multiply right during the battle. This is something the hunters have never seen before. The sacred village of the blacksmiths has been attacked. Can a group of hunters defend the locals from fearsome demons? Will they be able to withstand the real war against the Centurion entities in the narrow streets of the village, or has the village of the blacksmiths come to an end? Moishio fled to the village after the demon had cast him far from the battlefield. On his way through the woods he saw a boy who had been attacked by the demon. Even though he was supposed to run to the village sooner and save those whose lives were a priority, he remembered Tanjiro's words about helping other people. His conscience wouldn't let him just run by, and he wrestled the boy away from the demon. He rose up for him and ordered him to run. The boy was grateful for the rescue and so he obeyed the Hashiro's order. The boy easily overpowered the demon fish. But it is not as simple as that. Even though Nichirin cut off the demon's head, its body did not disappear. On the contrary, it regenerated. This is strange. The hunter saw something like a jug on its back and knew he had to hit it. Jumping up and slicing it in one fell swoop, he immediately knocked the demon to the ground. This time he killed it, and it disappeared. The demon got its powers from this vase. That means one thing: it was created with the art of demonic blood. The boy he saved ran out of the bushes where he had been hiding all this time and threw himself into Hashiro's arms. He was very happy that someone had saved him. After all, in just a few seconds, his entire short life had flashed before his eyes. The boy was certain that he was about to die, alone, in the cold and dark forest from the jaws of a demon. He was so scared. Who's gonna win? Ignore the demon. Like and subscribe, Tanjiro. He recognized in his savior, the same guy who had begged him for a key and almost broke his doll. And not long ago he had wished him harm, but now the boy repented of his words. Nichirin had no time to listen to gratitude, he had to hurry. It turned out that the boy had seen how the demon wanted to attack Haganazuka, and so he stood up for him. If the blacksmith is hindered, he won't be able to restore the ancient sword. And he's already spent so much effort on this case. We can't let everything go to waste like this. Nichirin must help the boy protect Hataru. Hearing the child's pleas, though Hashiro wanted to help him, he really had to hurry. He remembered his past, where he could not find himself. Once he had scored who he really was, but his teacher had always supported him and knew that someday the moment would come and he would remember who he really was. The important thing was not to miss his chance. It could be anything, you can't pass it by. Then he thought maybe this was his chance. He grabbed the boy on his shoulder and ran to the blacksmith's rescue. What if he didn't save the others because of this? No. There could be no such thing. He is the Lord's acknowledged hunter. He is a Hashiro of the Mist. And he will not lose this battle. He will surely succeed in saving everyone. At this time Tanjiro was ready to take the demon's next blow and cut his head in two. But such a tactic would not help in the fight against them, for the more you cut, the more of them there are. And before he could even blink an eye, two demons were already in front of him. Thanks to this he understood how it works. The demon's power stays the same, but when it splits, its power is split in half. The four demons that originally appeared represented emotions and they were the strongest. But if you keep dividing them over and over again, then the power will be divided along with them, which will eventually come to naught. The guy decided to replicate the tactic and it worked. He needed to defeat at least one of the demons. But where did the one he had just defeated go? He seems to have found the point of no return, after which the demon disappears because it cannot divide. Now he had to stand his ground against a flying falcon demon. He was fast, and his claws were like swords. He slashed at Tanjiro and struck again. Taking advantage of a moment when the enemy thought he was invincible, the guy sliced his head open. But the demon didn't want to give up and started attacking again. You can't mess with it for too long, you need to help Nezuko and Jenny. And they had 3 demons in the same house. One of them had already grabbed Nezuko, and the other, thinking he had defeated Ginyu, miscalculated his capabilities. Sitting on his knees, stabbed with his spear, he didn't give up. Pulling the trigger, he blew the demon's head off with a single shot of his rifle. The demon was able to recover immediately and yanked the weapon from the guy. This caused him to bleed to death. So that's it, -1 it seems, the demons thought. But it wasn't that simple. Genya knew how to recover. When the demon wanted to cut the guy's head off, he jumped up abruptly and sidestepped him. That's how he would have blown the demon's head off, but he was stopped by the other's lightning bolts. Despite all the blows he took, he was alive. At that time, the other punched Nezuko in the stomach. But she would not give up so quickly and retaliated against her abuser. She threw him back, with his own weapon. Then an evil demon with a staff came at her and stabbed her through the heart. No matter how hard the demons try to kill Genyu, he replayed some kind of spell, again and again, that allowed him to get back on his feet and live. He was ready to keep fighting, nothing could break him. He was sure he would kill the demon. Tanjiro had to come to their aid. The house where they were was not far away at all. When the demon wanted to grab the boy, Tanjiro stabbed him with his sword as he grabbed his back. Thanks to the demon, he made his way to his friends to help them. Immediately he saw Nezuko and there was no end to his rage. When the evil lightning demon wanted to strike the boy, he put the paw of the eagle demon in front of him like a shield. It was made of flesh that was not affected by lightning and allowed Tanjiro to keep himself safe. Tanjiro quickly realized that with a weak sword like his, there was no way to cut off the demon's head because of its armor, so he had to cut through the tongue. He took a swing and chopped the demon's jaw, so the guy was able to outflank it and sneak to Nezuko's aid. Using the falcon's paw, Tanjiro managed to get the electric spear out of his sister. Just then, the demon recovered from the damage it had done. He was ready to stab the hunter right in the back with his staff. The boy would not have time to react. When the tip of the staff hit Tanjiro, he was ready to endure the pain, but nothing happened, the demon stopped. The thing is, the demon was struck by Nezuko, she burned him in the fire of her blood. Suddenly, another demon appeared from above and felled the guys with a single blow. With all its power it began to press down on them. The pressure made them both lose consciousness. At least they were still alive. Not everyone can endure that. The three demons rejoiced as they stood over the bodies of their enemies. One last strike remained. Suddenly, from the tower of the village sounded a bell. This guardian alerted residents to the attack. A bunch of fish demons, the same ones Michiro had saved the boy from in the woods, rushed into the streets of the village. The locals had neither the strength nor the ability to deal with them. So all they had to do was run. They didn't even know how to fight. They were common blacksmiths. Panic reigned. Raven rather flew to the rest of the hunters to warn the Hashiro about the attack on the blacksmith's village. Mitsuri was the first to react.